Welcome back to another Movie Club with Friends, your favorite weekly movie review show. So this week we watched the Intouchables, some French film.
I like your lack of confidence.
Because I couldn't
movie titles. He does that.
I couldn't remember if it was the un or the in. Anyway, so it was a French movie that Jeff picked. So why don't you tell us why you picked it and how you felt about it, buddy?
Well, I picked this movie because I knew it'd be a solid pick. It's not the best movie in the world, but it's definitely a movie that'll leave you with a smile on your face.
Why are you laughing at that?
That's just such a Jeff thing to say.
Oh, okay.
I saw this movie a long time ago. I think probably sometime when I was in high school, maybe. I'm not sure, but it was a long while ago. Anyway, it's been a movie that's been in the back of my head for a while, and it's one of the ones that I can remember by name, and so by that merit, I think it's a pretty good movie.
Okay, wait. You say you could remember it by name, but in the last episode, you called it The Untouchables.
I don't think he did. I think you
No, I didn't.
We thought it was The Untouchables because that's the more famous movie.
Okay.
You can go and listen to the
Yeah, we'll go back and check. I'm pretty sure I called it the correct name.
I think you called it The Untouchables because then why would we think it was called The Untouchables?
Because we can't hear. And we
yeah, they sound extremely similar.
What? I'm pretty. No, Mike, you're dumb. Anyway.
No. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna listen.
Oh man, I can't, Mike. If you're wrong, you have to watch it.
No.
Oh man.
But anyway, it's a good movie. I like it. It's nice. I would give it probably 7.5, probably a 7 out of 10, and like.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is there? So I have to ask you because since you watched this in high school and it had such an impact on you. Like, what about it had such an impact on you?
I didn't think it had like an impact on me. I just think it was an enjoyable movie.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Is that all you have to say about it?
Yeah, I just thought it was a fun movie that I thought you guys would enjoy. I know it's not like going to be the best movie ever, but
okay.
I definitely enjoyed it.
I'll go next, actually, Mikey. I'm gonna ruin the flow of things.
Okay.
I completely agree with you, Jeff. I'm going to be honest with you. When you first told it to me, and I read the description, I had a really somewhat it didn't sound like a movie that I would ever watch. And I still don't think reading the description, it's not a movie that I think I would actively watch. I would go and seek out for myself.
Yes.
But I was super pleasantly surprised. It is a great movie. I also had a bad outlook because I saw Bryan Cranston, who I love, but Kevin Hart are remaking this movie actually, and it comes out in January.
Really?
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Yeah. They're remaking this movie. And Bryan Cranston looks like he's gonna it's the exact same movie.
But it will be Kevin Hart playing Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as per always.
Anything else?
It's gonna be a comedy, you know.
Yeah, but I just thought it was so unexpected. There was a lot of emotion, and overall, it was just really interesting to see two people who wouldn't get along at all together, you would think in real life, and this is based on a true story, get along so well and be so compatible for each other and drive each other to be better. I thought it was just such a wholesome freaking movie, and they both have pretty happy endings at the end of it, which is really cool. And I did fact check it, and those are the happy endings of those characters. They did not Hollywood or French Hollywood it up. As a super side note, I found whenever I was looking at the trivia facts for this, it is and is still the #1 movie in Germany. From now, it is the most successful French film in German cinema history.
French film.
French film. But it was also the most successful. Yeah, it's just crazy. They just talked about how successful it was, and it it was famous because for a while, like, it was like the only movie people were like watching, and like when it came out in 2012. So that was kind of cool. And I do think it's funny that they changed the ethnicity of Abdel.
Yeah.
of Driss. I think that's so funny. And it's funny. The thing that I was laughing at before is because I was reading a quote from the actual Abdel, and because they asked him like, "What do you think of the man that they chose to play the film?" And he was like, "I'm a small, ugly guy. He's a beautiful athlete. They found the opposite of me." I just love. He's like, "I'm a small, ugly guy." And apparently, the directors, the only reason they changed the the ethnicity of it is just because they really liked working with that actor. So I thought that was kind of cool. Apparently, Omar Sy, like they had the director had worked with him before, and he did do an amazing job. So I was really impressed by it. My one critique of it is that I did think that sometimes, like, other than the points where the music was intentional, like when they were going to the opera or they had the orchestra playing at his house and they chose the 70s songs and stuff. I did think that sometimes the music pacing was slightly off in this film, and like there were times where like there was like really intense stressful music but it didn't really like fit the scene, and I was like, this is kind of stressing me out. Like, is he gonna die? Like, what's happening right now? And then he's like, oh no, he's just shaving. I'm like, like, why are you playing this stressful ass music? But yeah, I really like the film. I do think it's one of the few films that I like the flash forward at the very beginning of the movie, because sometimes that just like, I don't know, it's like a dead giveaway and it doesn't make the movie, like, it makes the movie anything less exciting for me.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that they did it fairly well. Like, it's just like because I think the whole point is you're supposed to see like the relationship between the two, and they were just trying to emphasize like the differences and how they're eventually going to get to that place where they're going to be silly together. I don't know. It was cool. I think I give it the same rating as Jeff. So 7. And what did you say? Did you say I liked or loved? I think yeah, because I'm like, I think for me it's liked. I didn't know if you said loved, but it's a 7 in the liked.
Yeah, I said liked.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Julie, with the flashback thing, because up until really that point, I was like, when are they gonna get in the car? Like, I couldn't figure out where the hell they would be going in such a rush. And then when it gets back to it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, I get it.
I must not have been paying attention because I had no clue that was the same guy. Like, I knew it was the same guy.
Oh, with the guy with when he had the beard.
Yeah, I didn't know. He looks so different with the beard.
He does.
Johnny, you're going to be like that person, like, oh yeah, honey, I got a haircut. And you're like, what? It looks exactly the same.
You'll just be like, who are you?
I think for me, I'm going to give this movie, I guess I'll lean towards a 6. It really just wasn't my kind of movie. You know, it wasn't a bad movie. It was done really well. It was relatively entertaining to watch, but kind of like you, Julie, like, I wouldn't have ever sat down to watch this ever on my own.
Never, ever.
It's just a movie about two buds hanging out. Like, really nothing much happens. I thought it was going to have some Hollywood thing where he was going to find out that he stole the egg for real and then, like, get mad at him and fire him, and then he has to, like, win him back and get his job back or something, but then they didn't go with that.
Yeah, I'm glad. So
I think the biggest moral of this movie is character development.
Yeah, it's all character development.
Yeah, it's just
like they each pushed
they were both down on their luck or whatever in their own ways, and they made a friendship, and they're happier now because they have each other, I guess.
But they really don't, because actually, like, the real Abdel and Philippe, like, they live in totally, I mean, they said at the end of the movie, they do live in totally different areas, like,
yeah,
Abdel's
they said
in Algeria.
They said they're still really tight and stuff.
Yeah.
But their meetings is what, I guess, sparked happiness back in their life or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I really can say, so let's hear from Jared.
Okay. So, like Mike, I was not into a movie that I would normally say, or sit and watch. But unlike Mike, I'm actually gonna give this an 8 out of 10. This is about as good as a movie, as good of a score as I can give to a movie that I would never really watch normally. I don't love this movie. I'm never gonna watch it again. But I felt like it was really solid. I had very low expectations going into this movie, and honestly, it exceeded them. I didn't think I was gonna like the characters as much as I did, but right off the bat, they got along great. The main characters had great chemistry, and overall, I just really enjoyed this movie. I don't really have too much to say about it, and no real insights, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I just like it's so funny, but like one of my favorite scenes was when they were in the opera, and like and like Abdel or Driss is just like shitting on the opera.
Yeah, I just wanted him to shut up so bad.
I know.
I actually felt really awkward during that scene.
No, it's like super awkward, and I hate it when people do that kind of shit. But like the one reason why I really like that scene is because Philippe just like thought he was hilarious. You know what I mean? Like he was just having the best time, like putting like Abdel through that, and I just thought that was hilarious. So I don't know, because like they did like those two actors are fucking phenomenal. They do a great job. Like it's like they're like when two people have like that much chemistry, it's like they're flirting on screen. You know what I mean? And it's just really good.
My favorite scene was when he was shaving him. He gives him the Hitler mustache.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
I was not expecting that, and I died when I saw that.
Apparently, it was funny. Like in the article I was reading about the real Abdel and Philippe, like apparently, like Abdel like makes like a lot of racist, sexist jokes. Like that is very much his sense of humor. And like the real Philippe was talking about how he's just like, oh yeah, like it makes him feel awkward, but he also thinks it's like hilarious. So it was just funny.
Garrett.
All right. I'll give my rating probably a 6 and liked. I really liked this movie. It was really good because I also, came into it with very low expectations. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it throughout the whole thing, except the part where like Driss leaves, and then there's just like a 15-minute montage of him like getting his family life back together, and then he just comes back anyway. And kind of bothered me, like, because they were setting it up as like, oh, his younger brother is like in with the like French drug lords. And then he just has a
stern conversation. Yeah,
I didn't like that part of the
away.
either.
And I'm like, okay,
damn, okay.
Yeah, we just lost our mule. Like whatever. See you later.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is like he got the 11K from his painting, and maybe he gave that to them in order to leave.
Well,
his
then
family
they should have showed that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, that was one of the biggest problems I have with this. But otherwise, yeah, I enjoyed. Yeah, it was good. That's all I got.
Mikey, I'm surprised you didn't talk about the two massage
the Asians, the escorts.
I think they were massage therapists.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was funny that it was like one of his first nights there, and he like got an escort to come to this mansion. Like it is incredibly awkward, but I guess that's his character is very like when he was dancing in front of like his entire family. I was like, this is fucking awkward. I was like red in faced, embarrassed for him because I hate dancing, so I find it very embarrassing. So yeah. It's like this is.
Oh, I thought that was a great moment whenever he was dancing to Earth, Wind,
that was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't like that scene. You know, one scene and it's like one of the final ones is when he sets him up on the date, and he's like looking at him through the window, and like I don't know, him like smiling. I was like, oh, this is a really nice moment. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
I was just confused. If he leaves, what? How is this guy getting home? Is this the date supposed to bring
I'm
him
sure
home?
he's gonna come back.
It wasn't established because he didn't tell the guy anything was going on. He kind of just laughed and just hoped for the best.
Well, he
Is
called
that
he called the girl, so they're probably like, "Hey, let me know whenever the date gets done."
Plus, he's got as much money as like Belgium, so I'm sure he's gonna ride back.
I
Yeah,
also
we can't swipe his card.
thought it was funny when they go gliding or whatever the hell you call that, parachute gliding, paragliding. They use like not GoPros, selfie sticks to like shoot those scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
And they never showed him holding it. Every time they showed him flying without actually a close-up of him, like the far-off shot of them going, he didn't have a selfie stick. So I was like,
They must have shot it twice, but then they should have just.
But like in the far
They
off one,
should've
it
just-
didn't have to be him. It could have been, some other person.
What I'm saying is they should have just went for it and been like, yeah.
They should have had them holding it in the far off
Yeah.
shots. Yeah, they should have. Well, you're talking, Gabe, so keep talking.
All right. So my rating will probably be a 6.5, and I liked.
Fucking halves.
Yeah, I was
It's been a while.
split, babe.
It's been a while.
I was split, but I have to do a 6.5.
Make a
See,
comeback,
I was
man.
split too, but that's why I went with the 6. You know.
Are we doing like a strict no 0.5 policy now?
I
or
say
what?
Yeah.
No, Julie is not in
I say you do it just
charge.
to piss Julie off.
That's a great idea. You should do that, babe.
Do it.
That'll help out my November challenge.
Yes. Oh, we have to talk about that after. Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
So I'll give it a 6.5. It was a really sweet movie overall, and yeah, the ending was great. There were a few, like that moment where he left and he came back really quick, and that was kind of felt odd. But one of the biggest things for me, and as far as nobody else has talked about it, I'm guessing you're just a bunch of sexist pigs. But
Oh yeah,
he was so
Oh, yeah.
He
uncomfortably.
was really fucking harassing
Yes.
that woman.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
She was, and I was like, "Is that French culture?
was thinking-
That's kind of fucked up." But
Yeah, I was thinking, when was this movie made? And then, like, is the French culture like that different?
2000.
it was only 2011, so not too long ago, and it was just like the very first interaction he had with her was like,
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that's dude.
Okay,
I
well,
Yeah.
I don't want to sound racist or anything, but I find that's a
Going
very,
to.
like, African thing to do is be very, like, bold when trying to pick up women. It's like, I work with a Jamaican man who has, like, he tells me, like, these stories. So his other job is he works in a junkyard, so he'll go to office buildings and, like, pick up, like, old equipment and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I just go up to any girl that's like pretty and I'll just ask for their number and I'll just talk to them, and he'll just say whatever he wants to like any girl, and like they're just very ballsy. They go for it.
But I just felt that it was really forward and inappropriate, like right off the bat, and it got a bad taste in my mouth just like right from the bat or right from the start. So it was hard to bounce back, but for the most part, he did. I still didn't like their ending. Like, he was just a horn dog the whole movie for her.
Well, did you not think she was pretty, Gabe?
Oh, she was very pretty. I thought she was very pretty. But so that was one thing that bothered me. Another thing that was kind of, and I'm sure everybody had their own perception of this, or maybe similar perception and feeling towards this, but I think because the dialogue was different and maybe the French culture is just a little bit different, there were many more awkward scenes and moments where maybe it didn't translate well. Like for me, the big one was when they were talking about him talking to his pen pal, and he said, "I want to talk to her mind to mind," and then he said like mind to troll or something, and it was kind of confusing for me. But there was just moments here and there that were
Well,
just.
Gabe just doesn't understand poetry.
he was
Yeah,
he was
that was
saying
pretty-
he was saying like, what if
pretty
she's
easy.
ugly? Like, what if she looks like a troll?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, well, that was the one that I guess I didn't understand as well because I was thinking of troll in more of a.
Gabe,
What we
I mean,
use troll for
Julie,
now.
do you have to go from mine to troll?
like she's trolling him. Like, it's,
Yeah. I couldn't. I hate that that's part of my like mentality now.
It is, apparently.
But there
oh,
were.
poor guy in wheelchair. He's getting trolled.
That's what I thought. So that's okay.
Oh my god, you're such a dork, babe.
But other kind of general things where it was kind of just generally awkward.
Like the part where he's in the little girl's room. Like I thought the interactions between him and the daughter were very strange. Were very like kind of.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were
Yeah, I
gonna
feel like
like
they could've done
fuck at
without
some
the whole
point, and then
daughter.
that one is gonna
I
be
knew it.
weird. Like they were like she was gonna like kiss him or something, and the dad would be like, "This is totally unacceptable. Get out of my sight."
I feel like they.
Well, I'm
could've
glad
done
that didn't
without the
happen.
daughter.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Well, no, okay. So the daughter scene was all another thing to make Wheelchair Man grow as a character, right? So she's
was such a
she's
small
walking
arc.
around,
Believe-
she's tramping herself out, blah blah blah, and he's like, you know what? You have to stick up for yourself, and you have to actually start parenting your daughter, and that's what he did. So I thought it was pretty reasonable to have that in there. I didn't think it took.
No,
away-
I think it was reasonable, but I didn't like the scenes between Dries and her. I just thought they
No,
were a
I
little
didn't.
awkward.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I knew that Gabe was going to talk about it, which is why I didn't mention it. But yeah, especially in today's film, here in the U.S., I don't think it would go well with.
Did
them.
anybody
I
else?
thought they were fine.
It was
Did
weird.
anybody else think that the last interaction? Granted, she was awkward herself, but the last interaction with the old lady who went out with the gardener and Dries when he left, that was also really awkward as well. For me.
I think she was trying to be happy for him, but really she was sad, but not trying to show that she was sad.
Yeah. I
But then
think-
he was like, "Oh, you're always bullshitting me." Ha 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 ha. But there was nothing that she was doing that was bullshitting.
Yeah, she was.
She was
She,
just,
Is it 'cause-
she led him on to go for the lesbian the entire
Yeah.
time.
oh, well, yeah, but they were
What
saying
else?
goodbye to each other, and she was just awkwardly gave him a side hug and just I don't know. It just
Yeah.
that was,
I
that was really
Yeah.
awkward.
I don't think you guys understand the French culture.
No, I don't think you guys understood
I
that
don't think anyone
interaction.
does, too.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with it. If anything, that was kind of cute. I just think that she was generally kind of cutesy, awkward, and I mean, she had quite a bit of development in the movie.
She ended going out with the guy that Dries was talking about. In
Yeah,
Yeah.
she obviously valued his opinion a lot, which is really crazy because she complained about Dries in the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to get kicked out because she found all the weapons in his bag.
Yeah.
And
And-
then-
That led to remember that one conversation at the park.
Yeah.
That was the result of her finding the stuff.
Right.
Wait, what? I must have missed that.
Remember when she found all the weapons,
They
and then
did, yeah.
later they went to this park, and this guy sat down and was like, "He has a record. He has a history. Why would you hire?"
Yeah.
That conversation was because the woman that found the weapons
Yeah.
or whatever.
told the
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
right,
She
right,
really
right,
didn't like him, which is really impressive that
Well,
the relationship
Wow.
got so good.
That's the whole point of this. One of the points of the story, right, is that he came in there. They thought he was a hooligan, and then oh no, he's got a heart of gold.
The movie's a lot about preconceptions and
Yeah.
breaking those barriers. Like how all the other applicants, just saw him as a cripple, just as a handicapped guy who couldn't think or do anything for himself. But Dries, didn't take pity on him, was just treated him like any other guy.
Yeah. He was a nice man.
I loved the interactions when Dries left and the the other caretaker was there. He just hated him so much. Get out of my room. He brought in the fucking goblin head masseuse guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Also, they had the escorts come in and they were Asian. That's. I feel like that's.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know. I just feel like.
What are you gonna fucking say?
Because the most stereotypical thing to think of for like an escort or whatever is like an Asian woman in like the sex trade.
But
right. So
I'll note one thing.
A bust over near me.
I'll note one thing though was that it was some busty Asians, which was surprising.
They were very busty. Yeah.
Well, he can afford the best, so.
That's
So
very true.
I don't know. I just. Maybe just have a white woman the next time. I don't know. I guess it's trying to be realistic. I don't know. Anyway,
There's nothing realistic.
Other than that, I got nothing else. That was most of my commentary on it.
all right. Well, this has been the shortest episode ever, but yeah, Johnny.
Yeah. I really have to disagree with pretty much all of you guys. I'm gonna give it a 5 and disliked.
Ooh, wow.
Very interesting.
This movie was so corny and just fake. It just felt so fake to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can see that.
The whole movie made it seem like it was going to be one hell of a sad turn after another. But I got my buddy with me. Don't worry, I can do whatever I want, kind of thing. But like, there was no. I feel like, in movies you expect kind of like a mountain, or like it goes from 0 to 100 back to 0,
Yes.
and then the climax or whatever. This movie had none of that. It was a plateau for the entire movie.
So
Are you too much on the Hollywood movies there, Johnny?
So Johnny, that's what I'm thinking is because it's based on a true story, they kind of wanted to keep away from that typical like storytelling of basically you do the rise up to the climax and then you have the drop off. I think they were just trying to make it more realistic of just having it just kind of be like this day-to-day life, and then that's it.
And then only show the happy parts.
I get that. But like with that then, why would they end up showing like his cousin or like his little brother, Driss's little brother, cousin, whatever the heck, involved in like the drug trade or whatever? Because there is no plot to that. Like, of course he's like wants to go help his family and do stuff for his family, but the majority of the time he's like completely alone, like not talking to them. Whenever he gets kicked out, he's like, he spends an entire month not talking to them. Even whenever he gets the money from that painting, he doesn't give it to her, or at least it doesn't show it.
Yeah,
it seems like he's not involved with his family as much as it seems like he should have been.
They could have had him just be like, just have a scene where he's like, I'm gonna start paying for things around here, and then keep his fucking job.
Yeah, like I don't know, like the whole scene whenever his cousin, brother, or whatever, like comes in, and then like he has to explain it to Philippe, and they're pretty much like, okay, well, you shouldn't take care of me then because you need to take care of your family. He does that. 15 minutes later, he's back. Like, what? Okay, so is he gonna take care of his family or not? It didn't resolve any of that.
So the way I see it is, Wheelchair Man had such a hard time living without Doritos, whatever his name may be, Driss, that the other help contacted him and was like, can you just like come talk to him or something? And he's like, all right, I got this. So then he sets up the date. Clearly he's been talking to the woman from the letters and been like, listen, he's in a fucking wheelchair, but he's rich. He's a good guy.
Oh, he did that once he saw that he got the photo from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he was leaving, so he came back to just kind of set him up with this woman that he loves, and then he can go back to his family.
Also, to add on to that, the problem with he couldn't be with his family before is because the job with Philippe was a 24/7 job. He needed to be there all the time. At least he can still be his friend and spend some time with him, but he needs to work that little 9 to 5 job.
The way I see it is like he probably makes more money than the mom does cleaning office buildings. So just give them a portion of your money, and then the mom
Maybe money isn't the problem.
No, and then the mom doesn't have to work, and she can take care of the kids.
Can the mom talk to the drug dealers?
Okay, well, you talk to the drug dealer once, and then he's gone. Then you can go back to work. I think there's a way around this. I think he could do both.
There may be a way around this.
He's literally sleeping like for free. He's living for free. He's eating for free. He's doing everything for free, and he gets paid for his time too.
Probably a lot.
Money doesn't solve all problems, guys. You need to understand this.
Okay, but or you hire someone, and then you have 2 people to look after this guy, right? So you have the shitty one that, like, in the off time, that Driss when he's with his family.
I will say, in the Kevin Hart trailer, he does see the check, and he's like, "You're paying me this much?" So,
what? And then, like, zooms on his face, and then he's, like, doing, like, a dance. I need to watch this trailer.
All right. Well, anyway, the one good thing that I like about this movie was the part whenever Philippe is, like, talking to one of his other buddies, and, like, he shows him the painting that Driss made, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, this is a up and coming artist, and he's gonna be in this museum and this one and all that stuff." He's pretty much like conning him. Yeah. And he's just like got a smirk on his face behind him, just like, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's doing. I think that was really fun.
That's really funny.
One point and I'm not going to be able to explain this very well, but I think it has some merit to it, was I think your problem with how it wasn't like a typical, or how they had the story wasn't, I guess, very typical, is too much just kind of a real life view, I guess, about all the cinematography, I guess you can say, is I kind of went to the movie knowing it was a French film, kind of like just from that aspect, just letting it be itself and kind of just taking it in for what it was, because I knew that so many foreign films aren't like that, I feel, in my experience at least, that I guess I think that may be a part of it, is that it's a foreign film.
Okay.
I agree with that, Gabe. So we watched The Little Prince. That was French, and that was kind of different from... It was pretty streamlined, but it had differences to it. I saw there's a famous French movie that was famous over here, Amélie, and that movie is fucking just wacko, and it's nothing like an American movie. And then I think I've talked about this before, but probably in The Little Prince, but the cartoon Wakfu is like totally underrated. It's French. It doesn't fall under really money like American tropes or anything. It's its own thing.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's so fucking good.
Let's go through Logan!
Okay. Before we get off subject again, one
Sorry.
more thing.
Sorry, Johnny. Sorry.
No, that's it. This is the last thing. One thing that I noticed at the beginning of the movie, whenever he's like in that house that has like 7 kids or whatever, whenever he comes back from jail, if you guys notice the camera, what is that called? The field of vision for the camera is skewed so that it seemed like the house was more like small and condensed, while whenever he was outside, or at least in the in Philippe's mansion, they used a different field of view to make it seem like it was more open and like accessible. So
I definitely didn't notice that.
Fun fact.
Another fun fact: this guy Philippe is also royalty, by the way. Did you guys know that?
Is that why he's rich?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, he's a businessman too. But yeah, he like
businessman because he had money.
Yeah, businessman because he had money.
That's easy
But
to
also
make money
royalty.
with money.
And then that house.
Yeah, when he was a kid, he got a small loan of $1 million. So.
That house that they lived in, it's called like the Hotel de Pozzo de Borgo, which is Philippe's last name, I guess his royal title. Sold for €100 million.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's a lot of fucking money.
It is a lot of money.
But anyway, yeah, now he lives in fucking Morocco or whatever the hell. So
Odd place to
Anyway.
end up, personally. I think.
it is. I don't know. It's really weird. Like, what is there in Morocco?
Cocaine.
Sun.
I don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
There went your whole Moroccan
Right.
viewership.
Yeah. Are we all talked out?
That's a quick
Yeah.
one.
That was quick. Not much to talk about in that movie. It's just a
This movie
It's just
wasn't meant to be like a mind
Yeah.
breaker, a tearjerker or whatever. It was just
Yeah.
I just thought it was a fun, enjoyable.
Same. It was still
I
44. It was like,
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, John.
I'm kidding.
The next one will be good, I promise.
it's still like over 30 minutes. So it's pretty. I think that's still quite a while. Quite a lot.
I've got 15 movies we have to decide on, so
Oh God.
it'll take another 30 minutes.
Hold on, I'll be right back. No, you don't have to hold on. I'm just go ahead.
Wait, what?
okay.
What are your
So
picks?
yeah, Garrett, what are we watching next week?
So how many of you have seen No Country for Old Men?
Jeff,
I have not.
I have,
No.
but yes,
No.
pick that movie.
No.
And then how many people have seen Apocalypse Now?
Yes.
No.
I think I did when I was very young, so I don't remember.
I was leaning more towards Apocalypse Now anyway. So since only one person recently has seen it, I think
Also, I lied because I misheard what you said. So, no.
Oh.
I was thinking Apocalypto, sorry. I'm sick, don't make fun of me.
No Country for Old Men is free on Netflix, just so you know.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
pretty
watch
sure,
that.
Apocalypse Now.
Let him pick, right?
No, I want to watch No Country.
Which is the
gonna
week
be your
after,
pick.
so.
That was gonna be.
Apocalypse Now is on Netflix too. Maybe not.
It is
though.
not. It is not on Netflix.
Oh,
don't
used to-
Jeff, have you seen Apocalypse? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
All right. Well, since Jeff doesn't want to watch it, that's what we're gonna watch.
All right.
We're gonna watch-
Apocalypse Now.
Man, you were gonna take one of the movies off of my list though.
That's why I was like,
That's
don't
why
do
I'm
it because
like,
you're
I'm
taking
not
one
gonna
from
do
Mike.
Mike can do that.
We're all just trying to get at each other.
Well, no.
Anyway,
If you pick one of my movies, that means I get further down my list already. I was totally okay with that.
Yeah, we understand.
We get that. We understand that completely.
That's
Yeah, we got that
Jared-
100%, Mike.
You keep on
Jared-
lists?
Jared and Johnny got me to do 3 of my movies in a row. It was awesome.
I'm just making this up the week before.
No, I am taking us through a journey with my movies. All right.
Apocalypse Now is available to stream on Vudu, YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play.
Yeah, for money.
Please pay us money, YouTube.
Yeah. Thanks.
Watch a movie for YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube just needs to sponsor us so we can get free movies from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, do I need to say anything else about it? It has a Martin Sheen. That's it.
Nah.
Marlon Brando.
I'm Charlie Sheen.
Oh God. And we're in
Uh,
This is the good Sheen, Jeff, not the crazy one.
Oh, but can we watch Hot Shots instead?
Can't kick my
wait.
kids
Wait.
away.
You're saying the guy from the band is the crazy one? Because
Charlie Sheen, 2.5 Men.
yeah, he's the crazy
He's
one.
the crazy one.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh.
I'm Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
I said Martin Sheen. His dad is
Oh,
not the.
Martin Sheen. Okay. Sorry. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Say bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye now. Bye bye.